Hello everybody, welcome back to another video in my Java series. In this video we're going to be discussing loops, which are very fundamental for coding. Once again, I apologize for not uploading in about a month now. I was in college and the last semester was pretty difficult, so I decided just to break away, just to stop uploading videos and just to focus on my college. And I haven't uploaded a few videos in the past few days, despite me saying that I'm going to upload every day of December because I decided that I just needed a few days to rest after doing college for a whole year. Also, I'm planning on finishing a big RPG game by the end of 2025 and releasing it in 2026. I hope for it to be one of the best games ever made. So I'm gonna need a lot of help making it. So if you are experienced with Blender or C-Script or texture and art, please feel free to email me. If you do actually uh, really help out the team a lot, you're gonna get a percentage of the amount of money we make. Okay, but anyways, on to the video. So there's three types of loops in Java. There's the for loop, the do loop, and the while loop. They're basically all the same thing. Just some are more efficient than others. The while loop, is basically while. You have a parameter A is greater than B in this instant. You don't have to have this. I just decided to use it as an example. A is a variable, B is a variable. Do A plus plus, which is A equals A plus 1. It's a shorthand for doing that. A plus plus. Okay, and then we have B minus minus. So what this is, which is basically B equals B minus 1. So what this does is that while A is greater than B, this code runs. Actually, I just realized that this will actually go on forever because if A starts off greater than B and you just keep on increasing it, it's going to be always greater than B. So if you have A, so you subtract 1 from A, so while A is greater than B, if you subtract 1 from A and you add 1 to B, you keep on doing that until A is equal to N or less than B. So let's say A equals 10 and B equals 5. Because 10 is greater than 5 is code ones, that'll be 9 and 6. 9 is greater than 6, that'll be 8 and 7. 8 is greater than 7, so that'll be 7, and that'll be 8. So because 7 is not greater than 8, the code stops running. And that's basically the while loop. It's really simple. Now there's the for loop, which is pretty similar, very similar to the while loop. Basically what you do is that you start off by declaring a variable I, which is only available in the for loop. And then there's this code right here, which is basically, if you remember from the while example, it's basically the code in this parameter right here. This right here. And I++, what this basically is the code at the bottom of the loop. For instance, if you imagine the code right here, it's the code that's at the very bottom of the loop. Okay, so the for loop is essentially the same thing as the while loop. Only noticeable difference, I believe, is that if you declare a variable within the for loop, it cannot be accessed outside the for loop. However, here you have to declare it outside, because if you declare it inside, it's going to constantly be declaring every time the while loop occurs, which can't happen. But I believe, yeah. So I'm pretty sure you have to declare it outside it, and also it's a lot clearer. It's a lot easier to read using the for loop. So, I mean, you could use a while loop for the same thing, just most programmers use the for loop. Yeah. So, that's all there is to the for loop, realistically. I know it looks scary, but it really isn't that difficult. If you just know that this is, you declare this variable, and then the loop runs if, in this case, I is less than 5, at the very end, I plus plus. The final one we have to discuss is the do loop. And the do loop is essentially the same thing as the while loop in a way. What it is that basically you do have do. You have something in these brackets. Then at the very bottom of it you have while with the parameter. Okay, so what this is supposed to do, let's say you have something like a plus plus, b minus minus, I'll just set a in this case, a int a equals 5, int b equals 10. Okay, so what this basically does is that when the console sees this, it adds 1 to a, and it subtracts 1 to b, so that a would be 6, and b would be 9. And then it wants to do this while thing. And this while thing, I'll just have it while a is less than b. The code once again. So this one's once. It sets a to 6 and b to 9. And then it wants to do the while loop. And if this thing is true, the code once again, the do loop once again, it wants to do the while loop. So what would happen here is that a would be 6, b would be 9. 6 is less than 9, so it repeats. A 7, B is 8, B 7 is less than 8, and it repeats one more time. And then A is 8, B is 7, 8 is not less than 7, so it terminates. And then we get, and so it goes to the code below it, and I'll just have using simple string concatenation. Okay, and if I were to run this, okay, and we get 8 and 7, which is the predicted value. So that's realistically all you need to know for these loops. If you have any questions on these loops, feel free to write me down in the comments below. And once again, if you're interested in helping me make the RPG game that I hope to release by 2026, feel free to email me at ironboardgamestudios@gmail.com. And if you do end up participation in the creation of the game, and you do help a lot and catalyze its release, you will earn a percentage of the money that we earn from the game. So anyways, that's all there is for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.